Hey everyone, welcome to this new moon Sidereal astrology forecast for the new moon on May 30th, 2022. All right, so we have a new moon in Taurus the Bull. If you were expecting me to say Gemini just then, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. We are using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology. All right, so new beginnings, new lunar cycle. It's not a major new moon. There's no major aspects with it. I think it's going to be quite subtle, but of course, like every new moon, it is important. And in Taurus the Bull, it is all about developing our inner and outer resources, right? So Taurus is about cultivating our inner resources, most importantly, things like self-worth, self-value, our inner strength, but also externally as well. That can manifest through abundance, through connecting to nature, having gratitude, and connecting to the natural world. So great to get into this grounded, resourceful bull energy, setting new intentions with it for this new lunar month. And the aspects we do have is sextiles up to Mars and Jupiter, who recently went conjunct in Pisces. And so there is a bit of fire energy with it, especially with Venus now in Aries. Venus does rule Taurus, so whatever she's doing is showing where we could be developing this Taurus grounded energy, and it's through active Aries. So it could be through initiative, through valuing more active energy in our life, and getting into some of that fire. But it is definitely mixed with water, especially with Mars and Jupiter and Pisces. So the way we're taking action right now with Mars, and in general, is probably in a more receptive way. Good to listen, go with the flow a little bit, maybe take a step back, use the current of life versus swimming upstream, right? This kind of a thing. It's a great way of working with it. And the Jupiter energy is just good to have a bit of an open mind and probably feeling just an opening for a bit of free-spiritedness with this new beginning. There's also a sextile to Chiron slightly here, so there could be maybe some healing energy coming in as well, but that one's extremely, extremely minor. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the chart for the new moon. So again, the new moon will be on Monday, May 30th, 2022, and the time will be around 6:15 a.m. Eastern time of the Americas. We're using topocentric, so it does change. It's not the exact time of the hour for everybody, but around there, if you want to make that calculation for wherever you are in the world. For all intents and purposes, we will feel it probably late Sunday and all day Monday here. All right, and as you can see here, of course, we are using the visible sky on this channel. Notice that the signs are different sizes. In all mainstream versions of astrology, they use an even 30 degrees for all the signs. So they will literally stretch the signs into unnatural degrees or shrink them if they're, larger. So we are using the visible sky as you would see it, and so the signs do change. And the new moon in mainstream is in Gemini. But if you do look up at the visible sky, you will see it in Taurus. So if you are new to this channel, definitely check out the link down below for more information on true sidereal astrology. All right, so very, very simple new moon. Really not a whole lot to talk about. As you can see here, there's no major aspects. We have one aspect, which is the sextile up to the Mars and Jupiter conjunction we've recently had. And I was looking at this earlier and I actually saw the sextile to Chiron, but now that it's up here, I may have misread that. So let's not talk about that sextile to Chiron because it's not within orb. Of course, it will be a little bit at play. Maybe I will talk about it since I mentioned it, but certainly not strong at all. The main aspect is simply this Mars-Jupiter conjunction. We recently had sextiling the new moon. Also no major conjunctions with the new moon either. But let's talk about it. So still important as all new moons are, and Taurus, the bull, is all about setting new intentions, and now in this new lunar month, developing the bull side of life. This is the bull symbolic for the very grounded, steady, resourceful, abundant, one step at a time, natural energies of life, energies of ourself, most fundamentally. And so like all new moons, it is good to end the previous lunar month, which was quite transformative. The last lunar month was an eclipse cycle. And so, that was, probably more intense for most of us, more deep and more transformative. But this one's certainly more calmer. And Taurus in many ways is about, more of a calm kind of energy. We connect to nature, the natural world. This grounds us, helps us feel more secure, connected to our inner resources as well, more secure, and from that can come that more calmness of the bull, right? Look at bulls, they're very calm. But anyways, that was the previous cycle. It was more intense, more transformative, more karmic as well, but that's ending. So as we do approach this new moon, that cycle is ending. As we approach Monday, it is good to clear, to release the previous lunar month, create some space for these new beginnings, and really just around the Monday time period, starting to listen to see what new is arising. And then even into this week, it's good to allow it to build some momentum. This is the lowest energy of the lunar cycle, of the lunar month. And so it is good to allow for that and slowly build momentum, but nonetheless set these intentions and be mindful and aware of course, the fact that it is great to be cultivating the inner and outer resources of life with Taurus. So yeah, inner strength, inner abundance, inner resourcefulness. Taurus can also be very much about cultivating our self-reliance as well. And then that can manifest externally into, of course, outer abundance. So great time to have a good meal, enjoy some relaxation, maybe even some luxury, right? The abundances of life, good aromas, good senses, right? Get our senses invoked, right? Beauty, aesthetics as well. We can have a keen eye for beauty and aesthetics during this cycle, right? So connecting to the inner and outer abundances of life, taking things slowly and steadily, stopping to smell the roses, right? Great intentions to set with this, all right? So that's the most important thing, very straightforward. The sextile to Mars and Jupiter is that there's just an opening for some of that energy. Sextiles are openings, and we can choose or choose not to work with them. But the openings are there for more active energy, especially, and that's what the sextile to Mars and even Jupiter is a fire sign. But this is especially confirmed by the fact that at the same time as the new moon, Venus is slowly starting to make her way into Aries, the active and initiating and fiery constellation. So do give it time because, of course, Monday she's just getting in there. So we might start to feel the more fire stuff a little later into the week. But there's definitely that shift. And we're going to notice we're starting to value. Taurus is very much about what we value. Again, those inner and outer resources. So valuing collectively the more active, assertive, initiating energies of life. And so great to be enjoying these. Maybe a bit of active or athletic. Maybe having to or wanting to take more initiative with things, maybe cultivating more of our directness or assertiveness. All right, at least it's very supported during the cycle, and it's suggesting that it's through that more active or initiating energy we can be cultivating this inner and outer resources. All right, but the sextile to Mars really just confirms that. Now, of course, since we can always keep dissecting this further and further. Since Venus is in Aries, then we might want to see what Mars is doing because Mars is the ruler of Aries, suggesting how we're taking action. And how we're taking action collectively is in Pisces, which is a very watery, very different energy, which deals more with going with the flow. Maybe sometimes being more receptive. Sometimes the direct action is not the best action or even the most effective action. Sometimes inaction is the best action, or approaching it a little differently, or doing it more intuitively, or a little more behind the scenes. Or sometimes a step back is a step forward, if you know what I mean. So Mars and Pisces right now collectively is that it's very important to be more receptive, more in tune, more like the fish when it comes to where we're putting our action and taking initiative, right? But it is very supportive during the cycle with the sextile. And of course, Jupiter's been kind of expanding this. Just last weekend, we had the conjunction with Mars and Jupiter. So if you felt that coming into the new moon, maybe a bit of buoyancy about confidence, assertiveness, or maybe just feeling a bit open-minded or adventurous mentally or quite literally, right? These are also supportive energies. Sextiles with Jupiter can help us feel a bit of that open-mindedness, a bit of that buoyancy as well. So it's good to, again, connect to that. Jupiter fundamentally is about learning. So we could be maybe learning about that more, active sort of side of ourselves as well during this conjunction. But again, just an opening for a bit of fire in the water way, right? Taking action, assertive, initiating in the receptive way, in the oceans of life by listening, by sometimes floating, by putting energy into the current, right? But anyways, all that is very much supporting this new beginning, which is also a yin sign. Taurus is earth energy. So this slowly, steadily, being more receptive, connecting, cultivating our inner and outer resources in life. All right, so everyone, that is the new moon in a nutshell. Most important thing is listening. It's a new cycle. It's not a major, collective new moon, meaning there's likely not to be huge transformative or collective energies unfolding here with this. But of course, like all new moons, it's great for personal development of listening and developing the sign's energy. Taurus the Bull is, of course, very important, just like every other sign. And in this case, it is that cultivation of the inner and outer world, of inner and outer resources, that steady, grounded energy internally, but also manifesting, of course, through then our external values and connecting and developing those, especially in the material world. In the initiating way, more than likely, with Venus starting to shift into Aries, at least enjoying or connecting to that fiery side to things. But again, the way we're doing that is in a more receptive way, with Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, supporting this new moon, giving us a bit of that, maybe open-mindedness, maybe more feeling initiating, more active towards what is more ultimately soul-fulfilling, with this Pisces conjunction. All right, so everyone have a fantastic new moon. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, it is a free newsletter where you do get these videos released first before YouTube. So definitely sign up down below if you're watching this on YouTube. And thank you again for all of your support. And I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Have a great new moon, everyone. Take care.